on KBTX, your news leader. This is News 3 at 6.
You gotta watch what you're doing. Somebody messed up bad.
If we do have anything hop over the line, we could have additional evacuations.
Have you seen anything like this before?
Not around here.
A still developing story at this hour as these fires have raged for over 24 hours now. We're talking about two major fires burning, one in Grimes County and one in Walker County. The Walker County fire, known as the Cowboy Church Fire, is well over 1,000 acres. That fire had closed Interstate 45 for hours yesterday. We'll get to the latest on that fire in a live report. But first, to the massive blaze in Grimes County known as the Dyer Mill Fire has burned over 5,000 acres. The containment on that fire has dropped to 10% after the fire has spread outside of containment lines. And the Texas Renaissance Festival grounds are reportedly threatened. That fire in Grimes County has forced the evacuation of 1,800 residents. News 3's Clay Falls is in Grimes County. And Clay, we understand the evacuation center has moved.
That's right, Meredith. As of this hour, the new evacuation site, we're being told, is Navasota High School because the Renaissance Fairgrounds near Plantersville are possibly threatened by this fire. Folks that are being evacuated are asked to head towards the Navasota High School. Now, just a little while ago, I was in Whitehall. I left there a few minutes ago, and we're about to head over to Navasota High School right now, and I'm in Navasota, right off Highway 6, parked on the side of the road. And as I was leaving Whitehall, it's, as we said earlier, it's really hard to just get a huge grasp of how big this fire is. We're being kept back by at least a mile or two just for safety reasons. All the general public is not allowed on scene. But as I was leaving, the fire was so big you could actually see flames shooting from the top of some of these pine trees. Now, that's the first time I've been out here today, and I was also out here yesterday, and we never actually saw flames from any of the vantage points that I was at. But today, as I was heading to Navasota, you could actually see flames sparking for a few minutes over the tops of the trees, and it appears to still be, all the smoke seems to be blowing kind of due north or in a northerly direction. When I was in Whitehall, evacuees were, and people that were worried about being evacuated were stocking up on things like bottled water and ice, and law enforcement informed me from Grimes County Sheriff's Office, they, as the evacuations are underway, they are going door to door to notify people, so they will alert you if you are in the evacuation zone. They're doing their best to go door to door and physically go on people's properties to let them know if they need to evacuate. Lots of uncertainty, though, for those folks that have had to leave or just are staying away right now. They have no idea what will be waiting for them when they head back to their property, if it will be there or not, or burned, or if the properties will survive. Just a really scary situation. I was speaking with a couple from Houston a few minutes ago over in Whitehall. They have a weekend home in Grimes County, and they've never seen anything like this in all their years that they've had a place out here. So just a really dangerous situation. We're also told for the public to stay out of this area if at all possible. There's a lot of traffic, a lot of firefighters, emergency responders on scene, and they're asking the general public to stay away. There is a lot of curiosity. You see a lot of folks on the side of the road taking pictures, videos. It's a spectacular sight to see, but they're asking to give the professionals some space, let them do their job, and to also make preparations to evacuate in case if you are in the direct path of the smoke or appear to be near the fire to be able to see that at a moment's notice. That's the latest here in Navasota. Reporting live here in Grimes County, Clay Falls, News 3.
Okay. Thanks so much, Clay. Definitely a frightening situation, a devastating situation. That fire has destroyed a number of homes in Grimes County west of Plantersville. News 3's Michael Oder just returned from seeing the damage firsthand. Michael?
Meredith, it's a devastating scene in parts of Grimes County. Homes leveled and property destroyed. People are getting their first look today at some of the damage. Howard Morris and his family were actually outside yesterday and watched the fire come right up to their house. They gathered what they could, left water hoses on the roof, and got out. Today, they saw cars, boats, and trailers were melted down to pure metal by the extreme heat, and they were wondering how their house was saved.
Because I stood right by that pool and claimed the protection of God. And this is the evidence of it.
Residents and officials alike are stunned at how fast this fire has moved and the destruction that it has left behind.
This is the worst fire we've had in this area, plus Grimes County, but this whole region, I don't think our region's had one this bad.
Residents are only being allowed in if their home was not destroyed by fire. Grimes County Sheriff's officers, along with the Texas DPS troopers, are keeping the public out of that area because of a high risk of fire flaring back up. Live in the News Center, Michael Loder, News 3.
Okay, and our coverage of these fires continues now as we shift from Grimes County to Walker County, and that area was the site of the closure of Interstate 45 for several hours, and that reopened last night. News 3's John Gilbert joins us live from Walker County, and John, this fire is still burning a day after it started.
Oh my goodness, Meredith, what a mess it was here just off I-45 last night when this fire skipped over. Now this is the command post, or what's being called the Midway Fire, between Madisonville and Huntsville. Now I want you to see something just for a moment. We're just off the interstate. This is very dry grass right here, just off the interstate. This is like something you would see in the middle of winter. That's just the perfect tinder for wildfires. Once again, they closed this interstate when that fire jumped over last night because of heavy smoke in this area. Now today, firefighters are dealing with the same very hot, very windy conditions and battling this fire that has burned more than 1,500 acres so far. It's only 15% contained, and firefighters are using fire breaks to try to stop it.
We're waiting on the fire to jump this line right here. That's why the graders, maintainers, been maintaining this line. We're trying to keep that side over there wet, but I mean, we'll wait and see what happens when it jumps. That's why we're all facing this way to run from it.
Now we have just ordered up 2 Black Hawk helicopters. If we get one of them, we're going to be happy, but we ordered 2. And
to do what?
To start making some water drops wherever it's needed.
Now those Black Hawk helicopters are on the scene now. What they're doing is they're going to areas, small lakes, they're picking up buckets of water, they're taking them and dumping them on this fire, hoping to stop it. Now today, no homes threatened, like that one in Grimes County. A number of homes destroyed, a lot of homes threatened, people evacuated. This one, no homes being evacuated, no homes threatened at this time, but that's depending on whether or not this thing keeps spreading. Now let's go over to Bob in the Weather Center for the latest on this very hot weather. Bob.
Okay, John, thanks very much. I tell you what, the winds, of course, are really blowing the fire as far as making headway. But folks, if you're thinking that the heat out there is not helping with the fire, you're exactly right. Temperatures in the upper 90s at this time. Of course, the heat and the dryness are what set the stage for the fire, but the winds have really been blowing, gusting to around 30 to 35 miles per hour at times. And southerly winds, of course, are going to mainly spread the fire toward the north. However, with these smoke plumes that we've got carrying some embers, they're causing the fire to spread in other directions as well. So that's the reason the fire danger is so high in every direction from these fires right now. A lot more with the weather coming up.
Okay, thanks, Bob. You know, with dozens of homes and buildings being destroyed by the fire in Grimes County, many families are waiting to find out whether they are one of the lucky or unlucky ones. News 3's Steve Fullhart spoke with some of those playing the waiting game north of the evacuation zone.
A lot of folks in Grimes County can only wait and shoot the breeze. They'd shoot and kill the breeze if they could, because if the breeze carries fire too far.
If it hops over 105 and continues to head to the north, we will evacuate more people to the northwest of this area.
Monday morning, Derek Palmer and his family waited at Highway 105 in Stoneham, not only for a surging fire, but for word on his family's 2 acres and 4 homes.
It's like 4 families down there right now. My sister, my dad, mom and dad, my cousins. It's crazy, man, you know. We gotta wait to see what they tell us, you know. Hope it's something good. That's all I can say.
Hopefully they're going to be all right.
D.R. Stutz can say a lot. He's been in Plantersville since 1967, and he's rented a property south of 105 for 2 decades.
There's no forest fires around here like this. And this thing came out of the blue.
So as equipment and emergency personnel moved in and out of the evacuation zone, residents hardly did. Although Stutz found a way the night before, just so he could get to feed his cows.
I had to beg them last night to get through, but they finally let me in. But they wouldn't let me in to move the cows out. And, you know, they got orders to do this and that, but I'll get back there somehow.
The question is, when?
What's the mood like for the family?
And they scared, man. That's all I can say. They scared. And that's about it. They scared.
In Stoneham, Steve Fullhart, News 3.
Now, monetary donations and non-perishable items are being collected at the following locations for the fire victims: Stoneham Volunteer Fire Department, the Navasota Food Bank, and the First Baptist Church of Magnolia. And a close call today for one Brazos County family. This fire broke out on FM 2223 north of Bryan. One family was evacuated after the fire broke out around 3 p.m. The fire closed a nearby road. It has since been reopened. Thankfully, crews were able to save that family's home. The cause is still under investigation. And our coverage continues here on News 3 on our web channel, KBTX.com. You can find a live chat ongoing with our news team featuring the latest information on these fires, with reports from our crews at these fires and the latest from our newsroom. And also online, you can find an interactive map of the fire areas and evacuation zones. It is all live online at KBTX.com. And after the break, we head to the air. Some of the first pictures of this blaze came from Sky 3. We talk to the pilot next. And as we go to break, here are your pictures of the fires. You're watching continuing coverage of wildfires across the Brazos Valley right here on News 3.